Hello, everybody. This is Dusty Circuit here, and today I bring you my reflection on 2020. And uh, yeah, this has been a pretty interesting year for me, but basically it just started more or less as a normal year. It's for like the first few months. Or pretty much January until I say about March or so, are pretty much like normal, more or less. Uh, Nothing really that much happened. But then of course like the ACO events have been going as always, and I've been doing my thing. But basically around when the brunt of the but it's definitely around when the brunt of the pandemic hit, and like on also most of the lockdowns began. Uh, so that's when things began to get interesting. Well, for it's definitely affected my immediate family. My father's of course, he works at a post office, local to our area, and he's worked there for several decades. And of course, the whole uh, that hit him probably first and probably the most. But he's still, we're fortunate he still has his job. And my mother notice, of course, going to our local grocery stores, of course, all the shortages from people just buying in bulk. But for the most part, we've still been able to get what we need to survive, and I can't be grateful enough for that. But anyway, going back to, well, I guess while we're on real life topics, one thing actually happened that I probably never, probably caught me by surprise, and at least is a nice positive spin on this year. And I am talking about uh, my new computer that I got this year. And it was basically Valentine had upgraded his computer, and of course he builds gaming computers, and of course he upgraded his, and he gave me basically his old parts, and really all I needed was a motherboard, and but uh. But then I was like, well, I'm just gonna get a motherboard on my birthday, and then I'll have a new computer. And well, but around May, well, I believe that happened. If I got those parts, I believe in April or May, but I think about a month or after, or maybe a couple weeks, I just happened to, my sister and my family have gotten into the program for me, but I've basically received a $1,200 stimulus check in the mail. And that also prompted my mom to get me started with my very first bank account. And uh, pretty much I was able to purchase literally every other thing I needed and then some to actually get the new computer up and running. And let me tell you, that was quite the experience. Also, I haven't really been much socially active to begin with, even before all this started. And now that this has started, I've pretty much not been outside my house except for that time buying my parts while going to the bank. And I ordered the stuff on Amazon, but anyway, I haven't been outside my house except for that time. And for all my American viewers, what we all have to do in November. I don't want to go into it, but well, anyway, my American viewers should immediately know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to discuss politics on my channel. But anyway, as for in-game, it's really been quite interesting. It's basically around when the brunt of the pandemic began. AC and ACO had begun really soaring in activity, and ACO's begun soaring in player counts. Well, it has been even before, but the 2020, it began growing even faster than it was. And even by in the spring, we were already experiencing activity that we usually experience during the summer, when most of our younger player base is out of school. And yeah. And with this increase in activity, unfortunately for me anyways, came of course, the problem that basically growing Minecraft server and running out of resources for basically every kind of in-game activities, especially the most taxing ones. Of course, loading terrain, and operating and building redstone farms, all included. And of course, this meant basically brought an end So that basically has brought an end to the days where I kind of had my own space and just kind of was able to more or less kind of play the game however I wanted. But also with it, it brought more, well, of course, there's more members now, and there's more opportunities for me to socialize. But I'm the kind of player, I've always been the kind of player where it's like I value social activity and friendship, but I often spend a lot of my life more or less alone, and just it's like I rather tinker with my farms and my redstone. I rather build my base than spend time with people. And it's more or less just kind of been my play style, and it's not that I don't like to spend time with other people. It's just I just don't do well in large calls, and it's like, especially when 5 people are talking at once, and it's like basically if I want to talk at all, I almost have to talk over somebody else, and it's hard in that way. Although there's so many times where I'm able to talk to people one-on-one or small group, and really the main thing that's actually been pushing me to be in larger calls is my YouTube channel. It's just like literally being in the events and recording the events. And another interesting thing, especially that has been affecting me, is the farm team. And that has began in around, backtracking a little bit, before all that happened, in about like the spring of 2020, or that was 2019. I got the obsidian sword, it's obsidian bow in 2019, but anyway, in 2020, around the summer of 2020, the farm team had been announced on Player of the Month. And this was basically the last-ditch effort by the admins to kind of keep this redstone and alive, and keep like the part of the player base that include me included, that values of farms and automation in the game, like to keep us from being like just utterly alienated, and of course keep it alive, and keep us will mostly keep us from getting rules made. And I have both good and bad things to say, but focusing on the good, it has definitely saved the whole server from having rules made, and it's basically and it's also brought a lot of the community together, and what better for me than to bring the community together on the part of the game that means the most to me. And it's not been a smooth road, but for the most part, it's been great for me. Although there's been a period of time where I kind of became less active on the farm team because I had been pursuing a lot of builds in my base. And by the end of the year, I might have gotten myself into a little bit of a sticky situation, but for the most part, all things considered, I am doing okay. Or I guess more than okay, but I wouldn't, probably not, somewhere between amazing and okay. Like, I'm doing good. And really, but another positive of this year was definitely all the events, all the server events. Is of course, it's of course a global pandemic. What do we do? What do we humans? What do we modern day humans do? Well, we resort to video conferencing, especially the business side does, and the gaming and us the autistic Minecraft community, or the Minecraft community, or even more broadly, the online gaming community, we get together on the internet, and we've done, of course, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, take your pick. We find ways to socialize online, and really, and just thinking about it, and the last, like, really, from what I've known or heard, the last major pandemic ever close to the scale that we've really have experienced is, like, I believe, was the Spanish flu epidemic of, like, it was like the 1900s or 1910s. But just imagine, like, how life would have been back then compared to how it is today. It's so out of proportion. Basically has to just be like in that pandemic, where we were basically living in a completely different world. Like, of course, the internet hadn't even happened. We don't even have computers in our homes, and many of us are lucky to even have electricity and radio in our homes, and of course, sanitation then was like nothing, like just a joke. And but of course, nowadays we have, like, everything the modern era has brought to us. We have the internet. We don't even have to communicate face to face. We can just sit in front of computer screens and keyboards and headsets, and we can still, for the most part, be just as social as we did beforehand. And yeah. And anyway, this year is like, friendship has definitely been vital to survival in this year for many peoples, and especially the extended evolved form of that, family. And it's really and we've had more server events this year than any other year, for the sole reason, basically, to keep everybody together and keep everyone. It's like literally ACO and AC. It's basically like we're basically under a dome, and inside that dome is always peaceful, always, like, no matter what goes on outside, we're always safe, we're always together. And and uh and also, our events have even gone as far as to bring in real life events for many people, of course, including graduation and prom, and of course, concerts, and watching a movie together, and the karaoke. And there's so many different events. Like, you could be, like, completely bored, like you could basically not play survival Minecraft at all on ACO and still have fun. because of our events, and that's huge to a lot of players. Although for me, there's just a void, and that void is typically filled by playing the game, especially through automation and Redstone for me. But for many other people, the events definitely keep them happy and healthy. And they say I've definitely been through thick and thin this year, and also it's just I can't. And I may have even made a couple of new friends this year, although for the most part, I've just always stuck with the friends I've always had, and they definitely have kept me company, no matter what 2020 had to throw my way, and and of course the end of the year hasn't been terrific for me for many reasons, but that I'm not going to go into. But at least, for the very least, my friends and of course, the family that is ACO have definitely kept me occupied and company, and I've even definitely picked up some new hobbies this year. Well, really just extended my existing hobby, that being YouTube, and I've started. Of course, I've done basically the two different let's series that basically covered my history on, basically reflecting on my whole history on Otcraft and ACO, and then of course my Satisfactory Let's Play, and also my Minecraft single player Let's Play, at least the first couple of episodes of it, and I do plan on continuing that, but I have so many things going on now that it's hard to keep that's hard to actually keep a steady output in some areas. But I'm definitely doing my best, and but at least but at least on ACO we closed 2020 with a bang, and with yet another New Year's party, basically that area that what you may have seen on my channel, the New Year's Eve countdown. I've built that whole thing, and well, I built the redstone, I built the counter and the fireworks display, and I believe Riley and many of the ACO members that are on the events team now have basically built that whole area. And well, before I close this off, there's many other countless events that, such as the, of course, April 2nd was definitely has been exciting as always, and of course, AF always live streams on that day to commemorate autism acceptance, but with this year, it's been different because we've actually had many Mojang employees visit Artcraft, and to have the developers of the very game that has been the foundation of this online community for nearly a decade now, definitely huge for the developers to acknowledge Artcraft now. And we've even had and especially having Doc M come over, and of course he got to of course he got to basically interview us and talk with us, and we think we've also had log.zip over, but I don't remember. That probably was 2019, but this is definitely this is definitely definitely a wonderful event. And then ironically the server corrupted itself and we lost the spawn and had to rebuild it from scratch, but at least it gave the community yet another reason to get a band together and work for a good cause. And for me, this year has been it's both been bad and it's been amazing for many reasons. And I would like to close this with I cannot thank ACO enough. I can't thank Blue enough, and I can't thank all my good friends enough for always sticking out for standing up for me. No matter what I went through, and keeping everyone in touch. And I'm kind of lost for words now. And anyway, I hope everybody's had at least, or I hope everybody's at least had something memorable happen in 2020 for positive reasons. And if we've survived this year, we can definitely survive the next year and the next year after that, and so on and so forth. But anyway, thank you for watching. This has been me and Dusty Circuit. This has been Dusty Circuit here, and hope you've all enjoyed this video. Remember to rate, comment, like, and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family about my channel. Get them to like and subscribe. And stay tuned for my all rest of my content. And peace out. Bye.